Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Salesforce Musketeer. My name is Nikhil, and in today's video we will cover platform event. It is one of the streaming API events. So let's get started. Before we try to understand what platform event is and how we use it, first we need to understand the underlying problem with the traditional way of integration, which is point-to-point integration, also known as P2P integration. So if you see the diagram in your screen, it shows how clustered it is, that how many systems are connected together. So in this, one system is connected to another individual system, and that other individual system is connected to another system. So over the period of time, it looks like this, where you can see many to many relationship, where, for example, SAP is connected to one customer partner supplier, then it is connected to a cloud partner, then it's connected to SA SaaS. Similarly, SaaS is connected to some of the databases. So the problem with this point-to-point integration is the one major problem is scalability. So now just imagine we need to introduce another application which is Salesforce, and now SAP needs to be connected with Salesforce. Then there would be a separate connection we need to create and maintain between SAP and Salesforce, and we need to ask SAP developers to write code at their end, and then we need to ask Salesforce developer to write code their end, and then we will try to establish a connection, and that's how the another integration will happen. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in this point-to-point integration approach, and that's how it affects the scalability. Second point is it's not easy to track. Yes, so for example, if you see in the picture, some new members come in SAP, and it would be very hard for them to track how many systems this SAP is connected to, and it will be really tough for them to know which code, which message is being sent to which other third-party system. Now, the third another problem we have here is inconsistent data message format. What I've seen sometimes, one object is being sent, or one message, same message is being sent to different applications. When I say same message, I mean same kind of information, but the format of message might be different. So, for example, Salesforce has a case object in a service cloud, and there are 3 4 applications who want to connect with Salesforce, and you are sending, for example, to Workday, your case object information, you're sending 4 fields, and then you're sending 6 fields to the another application which is Jira, and you're having a different message format, and you're using different message format to send to all other applications. So it's kind of inconsistent. Now the another problem is tight coupling. In point-to-point integration, all the systems are connected to, they are tightly coupled to each other. So what is the problem here is, now for example in SAP something changes, like you change a password, there's a policy of refreshing the password, or some other new compliance, because of new compliance you are trying want to have a new authentication in place in SAP. Then what will happen is you need to reach out to each application which are connected with SAP, and then you need to maintain the connection and the session with each one of them. You need to coordinate with each team. So that's some are the disadvantages of tight coupling. All these issues can be resolved by a platform event, or I can say event driven architecture, which is being used by platform event. So what event driven model looks like? See how clean and simple it is, where when an event occurs, event means a change in a state of a business process. Then a producer will send an event to an event bus, and there could be two. or many subscribers listening to that event bus, they will receive the common message, which will be consistent, and then those consumers will process their own logic at their own server side. A very good example here is when we order a product from Amazon, the and Amazon would send a message that this is the product has been bought at this price, and so there will be a consumer, let's say a finance app, which will check the authenticity of the card details provided, and they will send an acknowledgement back. And there's another consumer which will see, oh, okay, the order has been placed and this is the ID, and now let me try to ship it from my warehouse. So similarly, one message can be processed by many consumers for their own logic, and they can perform their own action at their end. So some of the components of event-driven systems are event, which means a change in a state that is meaningful in business process, which I already explained this in my example of buying a product from Amazon. So here it says a placement or purchasing order is a meaningful event because the order fulfillment center expects to receive a notification before processing an order. Now the second is event message. Event message, also we can say sometimes payload, where you send a data that is being needed at the subscriber end, which could be a common data, for example, the order ID, the product ID, product information, the quantity, the amount, the card details. A common club message can be sent, and subscribers can pick up, they can do a cherry picking of the uh, fields or the data from the common message. Now, third is event producer. Any application which is producing that event is called event producer. For example, Amazon app is an event producer. An event channel is a stream of events on which an event producer sends event messages. So it's quite simple to understand that it's a stream of events. For platform event, the channel is for one platform event and group all the event messages for the platform event. So they group the messages into uh, in one stream and send them across to the event bus, which we will understand. Even consumers are the subscribers which receive those messages, and they can perform according to the logic they have placed in their own server. Now, what is Event Bus? Event Bus is a multi-cloud event storage and delivery service based on pubs sub model. It enables the retrieval of stored event message at the any time during the retention window. So I will explain this in a while, what is retention window in Salesforce for platform event and how we can grab the stored events for last 72 hours. So here you can consider that it can also be known as ESB. So you can consider that, for example, a MuleSoft is a very good example where when it is connected to a Salesforce, it can be considered as ESB, where all the platform event you publish from Salesforce will be will be going to MuleSoft, which is a ESB, and whoever applications are connected to MuleSoft, those applications will receive that message and they will perform the logic. So now in this case, any new system comes, for example, let's say our company has started implementing Workday. Now they want to see the case data. Salesforce has already been sending case data to Jira or other application. Now we will say to this new application, which is Workday, that all it needs to do is connect to MuleSoft, and they will receive a message in a certain format, and then they need to just uh, add a logic at their own end. There's no need to ask for Salesforce for their credential. There's no need for to make a separate connection with Salesforce and to grab any username or password from Salesforce. So how easy it is to make the whole integration scalable. Now let's try to understand what platform event is. So basically, they are the event messages that your apps send and receive. We use platform event to connect business processes in Salesforce, an external app, through the exchange of real-time event data. Platform events are secure and scalable message that contain data. Publisher publish event message that subscriber receive in real time. That's what I've explained in last slides, that any real time event. So for example, the moment you click on buy on Amazon app, the event will be published, which is a real time data. Immediately it will be published from the Amazon app to the ESB, and from there the subscriber will listen to that message. So that happens real time, and there's a publisher, the event has been published, and there are some subscribers, and it is all happening in real time. Some of the very important key points that need to be considered in platform events are that first is it's really fast. When I say fast, I can compare it with the other async jobs, for example, queuable jobs. Um, it doesn't have a mechanism of queuing the events. Just like Apex jobs, we can queue those jobs, and they could those jobs can be finished in seconds and rarely sometimes in minutes. But here it's very fast because there's no queuing mechanism. As soon as you send the message, it can be published and it can be processed. And second, it's the order of execution here is guaranteed. So it's a first come first serve. So when you send six platform events, then publish six platform events, they will be executed in the order they are received. So which is a very important point to consider for platform events. And the third point is you cannot do any sockle to check what are the events that are being published. So, but there are certain other ways by which you can know what are the event published, what are the statuses of that, and if you want to replay or uh, resubmit the previous platform event message, you can also do that. There are many ways. So one way is track publish status. This is in pilot mode by Salesforce. You can call them to enable in your org, which what you can do once you enable it, then you can track the publish platform events which had been published in the past, and you can check their statuses, whether they had been successful or uh, unsuccessful. If they are unsuccessful, like you can get universal ID, event UUID. I can show you once I create platform events. Then you can resubmit that UUI universal ID, and then the platform event can be reprocessed. Now only after insert. So what it means only after insert is that, like in other Apex trigger, we have certain events before event, after insert, after update. We have many events there, but in platform event we just have one. So when we will write the trigger, I'll show you, we can only write after insert. We do not have before insert, we do not have after update, before update. It follows the governor limit of synchronous. So it doesn't follow asynchronous governor limits, like but it follows the synchronous governor limits, such as DML one, like we can have in one transaction 150 DML statements, so it follows that. uh, Now another thing is it's a pub sub event driven model, which we have seen in the previous slide. You publish, you can publish a platform events, and in platform events also you can have subscribers. So in the previous example slide, I was giving you an example of MuleSoft, where you publish an event, subscriber is at MuleSoft. uh, MuleSoft will receive the event, and then they will broadcast it to their subscribers. One is this way. The second way is you publish a platform event within Salesforce, and within Salesforce you have certain subscribers which you can subscribe to that platform event, such as flows, such as Comet, such as your lightning, uh, sorry, lightning component. So there are certain ways you can subscribe to platform event within Salesforce. 72 hours storage, so they can retain their messages for 72 hours. Replay ID is a very important field, which is a standard field. The moment you create a platform event, replay ID gets created. So in replay ID, it's in a sequential order. So for example, right now I publish a platform event and the replay ID I got is 121, then another one I might get 122 or 126. It will be in incremental order. It will be a great that another one will be greater in number, but it's not necessary that it will be in sequential order. Here, no polling. So the concept of polling earlier was that uh, the client will keep on making REST API calls to the uh, publisher and checking if any data has changed or anything which we want to receive. And so many API used to get wasted that time unnecessarily. Here, there's no polling mechanism. It's just that whenever the event is occurs, it will client will be notified because it will publish that event, and client which is subscribing will receive the notification. So in this also how it happens is a client will make a one-time connection, will send a request one time, and then server may or may not respond. Server will only respond when there's a change in the when the event occur and when there's a change in the data. So this is as I said, replay IDs are one of the fields when you create platform event. So when you create platform event, it's just like an S object, and in S object we have certain fields like created by, created date, some standard audit fields. Uh, Similarly, we have one standard field which is replay ID. So in in this one, as I said, when you send a data or when you publish a data, you are given a replay ID field where it could be 121, another would be 125, then 126, then 129, 135, like this. So all those events with those replay IDs are stored in their retention window. So if you see this, you can consider this bar as a retention window where you see the sum of the old deleted events which was outside the retention window. So if any event which you publish now after 72 hours, it will be, you cannot retain them and it will not be in the retention window. Now suppose you have sent 10 event you have sent 8 events with the replay ID as 1 to 8. Now first two has been out of retention window, so they are deleted, you cannot grab them. But the ones which are in the retention window, you can grab them. Depends on what parameter you passed in a comet D library. So this -1, 2 and specific value is something, a configurable thing. So at client side, for example, in Java application, I'm writing a code, and in that code, I'm trying to use Comet libraries to subscribe to platform event of Salesforce. I will be simply asked three details like username, password, and um, a specific value. It could be -1, -2, or any specific value. So if I provide -1, it will give me all new events sent after subscription. So if today I have subscribed to a Java application, so if I provide -1, then it will start receiving new events. It will not receive any event in last 72 hours. But if I provide -2, then it will start receiving all that events which are there in the retention window. So 3 to 8 I will start receiving if I just provide -2. But if I provide a specific value, for example, if I provide 5, then I will start receiving 5, 6, 7, 8, and all the new events. I hope this is clear. So let's go to our next slide. So in this slide, I show you how this execution process works. So for example, user is on a page, clicks on the save button, then the Apex trigger starts. And in Apex trigger, we have written a code to publish a platform event. Now platform event will it will be a parallel thread as it is executed asynchronously. So in that case, a parallel thread will be created, and that event will, as I said, there's no queue mechanism. So there could be a very uh, likely that it may execute it really quick even before the page reloads. So that event may or may not complete it before the page reloads, because it's a parallel thread and it can be faster than your Apex trigger. So what if you have a complex logic in Apex trigger and simple logic in your publish platform event, then I'll say this will be executed faster than your page reloads. So some for the developers, it's very important to know some key points they need to keep in their mind while they code for platform events. We will also see in the demo how we can publish platform event through code. So just in Apex trigger, we have trigger.new, and by default it can max contain 200, but in platform event it may contain 2000. Now there can also be a scenario like while you are writing a code in a for loop, um, you're doing certain things and you're reaching a limit, and you're hitting a governor limit. We said, the governor limit is same as synchronous governor limits. So we can also use this set resume checkpoint in our for loop and provide the replay ID of our. Uh, we can check when the governor limit is hitting. We can use this code and it will reset your governor limit in the for loop. So that is what set resume checkpoint is used for. Now, when you create platform event, there are two options. Either you can use publish after commit, publish after commit, and publish immediately. So publish after commit is like if there's any code you have written before publishing a platform event, and that code has uh, some data which is committing, and you need that updated data in your platform event, then I would say you go for publish after commit. So the commit will happen to a database and that new data will be available in platform events. But if the logic or the data you're going to use in platform event has nothing to do with the code which is written before platform event publish, then you can use publish immediately. Then before commit happens to the database, this will be published, and this will process the this may get the old uncommitted data. Now no rollback. So when any transaction failing happened, so if you have a code and after certain line of codes you have a publishing platform event and there's an error occur in the code or something, or the error happens after the code on the code which you have written after publishing platform event, then there will be a rollback happening on the code but not on the platform event. So there will be no rollback on the platform event. So this is so when we publish and subscribe PE, we have multiple options such as process builder can be used, flows and Apex and API can be used to publish a platform event. They are just like we can insert an S object using process builder, flows, Apex. Same thing we need to do in platform event. We need to insert it using process builder, insert it using flows. But in Apex we use event bus.publish instead of insert. In API, we use a standard REST and SOAP API and just give it in a JSON, the message, and it will be and with the post, and it is same as like inserting in any S object. Subscriber, we have a subscriber process builder, flows, Apex, and Comet. So I will show you how we can use flows and Apex to subscribe. It's very easy. Comet is a library. I have another video where you can check how Comet is being used by Java application to subscribe to platform events which are published by Salesforce. Before we jump into a demo, we need to quickly check the governor limits provided by Salesforce. So maximum number of events published per hour is 100,000 in performance and unlimited, and it's only and all other edition is 1,000. In enterprise edition, it's also 100,000. Maximum number of events delivered to Comedy client within a 24-hour period is 250,000. It's 100,000. Maximum number of platform events definition that can be created in an hour, 100, 50, and 5. This can be changed by requesting a Salesforce. They can definitely increase your limit for platform event messages. So in demo, we are giving four requirements to ourselves, which we will see in demo. First is very simple. If contact is primary, then update billing city of an account with the city of a contact. We will do this via Apex trigger. Then we will do the same thing via flow, where we will create a contact, and when if the contact is primary, then we will just update the billing city of contact to their corresponding account. Then third requirement is like we have a limitation that in one transaction we cannot use two queuable job, because we receive this kind of error, stack 2, but we can avoid that limitation in this platform event, where we can we can publish two platform event, or we can yeah, publish two platform event, and they in turn can calls system enqueue the queuable jobs. Now in the fourth, we will check how standard API can be used to publish platform events. So let's jump into a demo. So we are going with the first requirement, and the first thing which we are going to do here is create a platform event. So here we are going to create our first platform event, and the requirement says that for the primary contact, we need to update their city in the billing city of account. We'll just simply say primary contact city update. And as I said, here you can choose publish immediately or publish after commit. So if the data and the code is what we are going to use is the data in before platform event is not, we are going to use it in the publish, then we will choose publish immediately. But here we have I will choose publish after commit, because we might need to change the related data. Event type is high volume, which is, now we cannot select the standard volume, so it is by default high volume. Now I'll click on save. Now if you see, notice here that the API name is underscore underscore e, but in S object we have underscore underscore c. That's how it differs from standard object or from custom objects. These are some standard fields that are created. One is created by created date. This is universal ID. This is can be used to track platform events, and this you can also use to resubmit any platform event if it is failed. And this is a replay ID, which can be used to by comment D or by subscriber to replay the specific event. Now here we are going to create some custom fields. Um, there are two fields that I'm going to create. One is account ID that we are going to update with the new city detail. I'll just say text. Here the data types, if you look, is only minimum. These are the only options which are provided for the fields in platform event. One is checkbox, date, number, text. It's very simple. Here I'll say account ID 18 and save it. Another custom field is going to be city. Click on next. I choose 100 and click on save. So this is how our platform event is created. Now I will write I'll go to this contact object, and I will create one field in contact object, which is a primary checkbox. Let's go to setup. Let's go to contact. Here I will add a field, a checkbox to tell whether the contact is primary or not. Next. Save. Now I will also write a Apex trigger where I will publish this platform event. I'll click on new. To keep it simple, I'll just use after insert here. I can also use before insert and after insert, but I'll just keep it simple. Let me use before insert, and here I will use that platform event which we have created. Copy it. It's the same way, the way we insert in S objects, the same way we are going to do it here. PC obj dot account ID underscore. Now here I'm going to use trigger dot new. I'm not focusing on bulkifying the code, just to keep the demo simple. It's going to be, let's say, mailing city PC obj dot city underscore c equals to trigger dot new dot, oh, sorry, that should be account ID. Let's try to see if it saves. It has a problem. Let me see. Unexpected token. So it saves. All I need to do here is now check if it is primary or not. So I'll choose like this, trigger dot new dot primary underscore c. If it is true, then only publish this. Basically, this code should also be written in there. Event bus dot publish PC obj, and that's it. So we have, this is the simple code to publish any platform event. Now we need a logic at platform event, a subscriber, which will read out, okay, this is the account, this is the city, I need to update an account with this particular city. Now in platform events, if you could go, there's a trigger here. So this is a trigger will belong to this platform event, which will become a subscriber if I write a trigger here. So I'll do it. I'll say city update on account. If I write here, as I said, it can only take after insert. Let me check after update just to show you what kind of, you will get an error. So I'll just choose insert here, and I'm able to do it. Now I just need to make sure that I update the account. So I'll just choose act equals to new account, and I'll choose ID equals to trigger dot new 0 dot account underscore c. That's, I think, I'll see if it gets saved or not. Then act dot billing city equals to, when you guys write a code, please use write bulkified code. This is just to explain a platform event. That's why I'm trying to make it simple without bulkifying the code. And I'm going to update ACT here. It says invalid type account at line 3 column 5. Okay, so this might not be the name. Let me check. So name is this. I'll try to save it. Looks like, okay, the city I've changed. Okay, there's a typo. Okay, so this got saved. Now it's time to check how's this thing working. I'll go to a contact here. So before I create a contact, I will check what is the city on the uh, account. We have Burlington as a city, so we'll try to change that by creating a new contact. So we have our primary checkbox visible here. I'll just give test demo 1st September. Here I'll say 2022, and account is Burlington, and I'll choose here primary and mailing city as Dallas. Let's click on save, and let's see it here. Let's refresh this. So if you see here for Burlington, the billing address has been changed. Now the city is Dallas, and this happened because of the platform event. So our requirement 1 is fulfilled, where we are using a trigger to receive a platform event. Now this time, instead of trigger, we will use flow and see how that will work. So let me go to flows. So here we will choose this platform event flow. So we are going to choose this platform event trigger flow. And the first thing we can choose here is on which platform event this flow will be triggered. So it was primary city, contact city update. Yes. Now what I need a account. I will choose get record, get account, and I'll say account. Again, same mistake I was doing. So on what ID? I'll say ID equals record, which is primary contact, and dot account IDC. That's it. Simple. We got the account. Now before we need to update this account, we need to set a variable assignment. Set account city. If you don't know much flow, then there's a video on the flow which you can always watch to learn flows in my channel. Here we will just update the city. For that we will go account, billing city. Let's do mailing city this time. Let me do it again. Let me do one more time. Yeah, billing city. Oh, my bad. I should be choosing shipping city. And equals to our record dot city, and I'll click on done. So we have set an assignment. All we need to do is, if you see here, we have set an account city to this get account variable. Now all we need to do here is update. Update account. Yes, use the IDs there and choose get account and done. So very simple flow. One thing we can do here is all we need is city. Yeah, done. And we can activate this flow. Save. Shipping city. Now let's go to platform event and check what do we have in our subscription list. You see our subscription list, we have two subscriptions. One is city update on account, which is a trigger, and another one is a flow. Okay, now I'm going to create another contact. Let's clone this one. Let's say flow test, and instead of Dallas, let's give San Francisco, and let's see. Now let's go to that account and verify the address. So if you see here, this has been updated at this place from trigger and at this place from flow. So requirement 2 is also fulfilled. Now let's move to our third requirement. Now the third requirement says that how can we overcome the limitation of queuable job when it gives a stack to error. So sometimes we have a requirement that we want two queuable jobs to run. One queuable job will update the account city, another queuable job will, let's say, they will give discounts to the opportunity based on the city. So that should be in another thread. So ideally what people can do, like they can make two queuable, but that two queuable cannot be launched from one transaction thread. They can be chaining concept, but you cannot launch two queuable job in one transaction. So in this through platform event, we will overcome that part, and let's see how it works. So for this requirement, we have created two Apex classes. I'll show you. Let's say we have one class commission sales rep. So based on some city, I'll say we will apply this commission sales, we'll give some commissions to sales rep, and we will have certain logic here, do some processing, whatever it is. And we have another class which also implements queuable. We go to Apex classes, and we have another class, apply discount opportunity on western cities. So this has some its own logic. So this class will have its own logic where we will have discount applied on opportunity. So we will see how we can call this to queuable from one transaction. We'll go to contact trigger again, and in this one, let's say from custom metadata or based on some cities, we have different logic to implement. Let's say if it is Francisco. I think this time we got spelling right. And if it is Dallas, let's say that. So let's say in San Francisco we have to call two queuable classes, and in Dallas one we have to call one queuable class. We will say that if trigger.city is mailing city equals to San Francisco, then publish this event 2 times. And if it is Dallas, I'll say like this. Let's say we will publish it 2 times, but how will they know which class to execute for which city? Maybe we can have a logic there, but we can also put it here, like let's say we say class name underscore city c equals to, we'll put the class they need to implement is commission sales rep for this San Francisco, and we will copy this. And here we will have, let's say, another one which will be like this. Similarly, we can do for Dallas. I'll just comment this out for a time being. If you notice, I have provided this class name underscore underscore c, but I have not created this field, so I'll quickly create this field, because otherwise it will not let us save. Okay. Class name, let's give 100. Let's save it. And let me copy this. Where did our code go? Here's our code. And that's what we have done. And let's now try to save it at line 17. So now we are passing two platform, or we are publishing two platform event in one single transaction. And now at the receiving end, which is at Apex trigger, we will see which class they want to call or which logic they want to execute. Based on that, we will enqueue that uh, particular class. We will update here. Let's say here what is common sales? Here we will say opportunity discount. Save it. We can give actual class name also, but for that we have to write different type of coding where we have to use type variable, but I'm trying to make it simple for this demo. So here I will say if this dot equals ignore case new dot class name exclusive, then we want to call this else if, let's say, and we want to call this, and here we will do simply call that class which we have created. For example, common sales rep class. Here I'll say this test equals to new this sales system dot nq test. Similarly, I'll go for the other one. System dot nq this, and let's try to save it. Something is missing. Line number 6. Okay, one more bracket. So let's see what's the problem here. Method does not exist or incorrect signature equals ignore case. Okay, I see this type. Okay, let's save it. Void nq from method does not exist or void nq. Oh, this is nq job. Okay, so now we have saved this one, and let's see how it works. I'll just go here in the contact, and as I show you here, we are publishing these two. So this looks good now. Now we'll try to see this in action. Let me go to a contact. So let me create a contact and see if two jobs are queued in one transaction or not. Let me clone this and get test 1, 2, 3. This. All I need to make sure that this is this, and I'll click on save, and I'll go to the Apex job, and right now I have seen it through 839. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows are there. Now if I refresh, I should have 9 rows. Let's see. So yes, after refresh, 2 more rows are added, which means that these two Apex jobs are processed. So that is possible because of the platform event. Only little tweak I have done because I was facing some issues. So I just uh, bulkified the code little bit. So I created a list of this platform event and I added this. Instead of having two event bus publish, I published only one. And on the receiving side, I'm receiving this for in a trigger.new, and then in condition, if this is the class name matches, then I'm enqueuing this, and otherwise I'm enqueuing this. So that's how our requirement got completed, where I'm able to enqueue in job in one single transaction. Now we will move to our last requirement, which is very simple, and I just need to show how this will work, where uh, the standard API is used to publish a platform event. So before I call the standard event, I'll just want to revise this part. What we will do is we will pass the value of account ID as well as billing city. That's it. And then we will see whether that gets updated or not. So I'll first create a JSON which I'll feed to my post API calls. Um, the one thing I need here is account ID underscore C. I'll fill this up and then comma, and then I will have city underscore C colon, let's say API test, and then that's it. The ID I can take from here Burlington, and I'll pass it here. This is what I got, and I'll pass it to the API. Let me open a workbench to test this. So I've logged into my workbench. Now I'll just go to REST Explorer, and here I'll provide my platform event post. Let me put my JSON body here, and let me get this data string. Give me 1 minute. Here I go, and I'll put a platform event name here, which is, give me 1 minute. So this is my platform event name. I'll copy and paste it, and let me execute it. Let me see what's the error. Okay, I think I forgot this. Now I'll execute it. So it looks like this is the universal ID which we got. So it looks like it is done, and let me just go and test this. Yes. So that's how we can publish platform event using standard API. So that's the end of our demo. And if we summarize our everything, so platform event works on event driven model. It's a pub sub architecture. It's a pub sub model, and it respects synchronous uh, governor limits, Other important things are there's no queue mechanism. Execution of order is guaranteed, and it ends with underscore underscore e. We have one universal ID gets saved, one replay ID, and we have 72 hours of retention window. Another thing is -1 is the default used by comedy libraries to get the events from the time they have subscribed. If they want previous events, they can go for -2, or they can give specific replay IDs. And we can subscribe it through flows, process builders, and Apex triggers, as well as Comedy. But we can publish it through process builder, Apex trigger using event.publish, and and we can also publish it to throw. All we need to do is insert in that platform event, and then we can also use our REST API calls. In fact, we can use SOAP also similarly, and we can insert in this platform event, and that will publish it. So thank you all for watching my video. If you want to check how we can um, subscribe to platform event in Java application using community libraries, please watch another video in my channel. And thank you for watching my video till the end.